blessings and welcome to the Path to Freedom. My name is Daniel Roquillo, and as always, thank you so much for tuning in, for participating, for joining me in a moment of expanding our consciousness, in a moment of raising our vibration through the means of coming back to the nowness of this moment, through the means of making conscious choices, through the means of setting intentions for our lives, in our lives, that we may forever allow for greater and grander expressions of who and what that we are to emerge, that we may forever release and let go of that which no longer serves, that may have served in the past, but it no longer does. So welcome here to today's topic, which is, are we here to get or are we here to give? Are we here to get or are we here to give? And this obviously has to do with how we're moving through life. I once heard a story, someone shared that as they were growing up, they had a grandmother or a grandfather that basically said to this individual that if the world was divided into two camps, and there was the givers and there was the takers. If the world was divided into two camps, the givers and the takers, this grandmother or grandfather said, rush to be on the side of the givers, and your life will flow beautifully. And obviously, we're talking about the sacred laws. We're talking about consciousness always preceding form. We are talking about whatever we are in vibrational alignment with, what we think about the most, what we talk about the most, what we feel about the most, with a great emphasis on what we feel the most. And that the spiritual laws, these sacred laws, they are like mirrors that can only reflect back to us whatever we are in vibrational alignment with, whatever we are placing in front of the mirror. So there are two ways that we, with regards to this particular conversation that we're having today, there are two ways that we can move through the world. We can move as takers and we can move as givers. Takers obviously move through the world seeking for the world to give them something. They are moving through life with a sense of not being enough, and a sense of not having enough, a sense of not being worthy, a sense of fear and worry and doubt. The givers move through life with a sense of being enough, of having enough, of having more than enough, actually. So the takers seek to get from the world whatever they think they need, be it money, be it health, be it happiness, be it love, be it joy, be it freedom. They want the world to give it to them, or they need the world to give it to them, believing that that which they desire is somewhere out there. The givers, obviously, moving with a sense that I am enough and I have enough. They seek to give. They seek to give. They seek to give. There's a beautiful expression that goes, we give to live until we live to give. And I love that. I want to read a prayer. It's called the Prayer of Saint Francis. Sometimes it's called the Prayer of Saint Francis of Assisi. And this prayer, I would have loved to be able to play it. A number of artists have recorded this into songs, and there's a beautiful version by Snatten Kaur that is called The Servant of Peace. The Servant of Peace. You can find it on YouTube, you can find it on Spotify, you can find it in a bunch of places. I would have loved to be able to play that, but due to copyright issues and regulations, I'm not allowed to. So I can only invite you to listen to it. It's like the theme song for my life. I've had it as the ringtone on my phone for a number of years. So every time someone calls me, I get to hear this snippet, or I get to hear, well, it is a snippet. I get to hear a snippet of this beautiful prayer, the prayer of St. Francis of Assisi. So let me read it to you. It goes like this: Lord, make me an instrument of your peace. Where there's hatred, let me sow love. Where there's injury, let me sow pardon. Where there's doubt, faith. Where there's despair, hope. Where there's darkness, light. Where there is sadness, joy. O Divine Master, grant that I may not so much seek to be consoled as to console, to be understood as to understand, to be loved as to love. For it is in giving that we receive. It is in pardoning that we are pardoned. It is in dying that we are born into eternal life. And I absolutely love every sentence, every line of these lyrics. I absolutely love. But I want to turn our attention to one of the last lines, where the poet says, for it is in giving that we receive. So coming back to the topic for today, are we here to give or are we here to get? What does it mean that we're here to get? Well, as we talked about before, the primary vibration, the state of consciousness of those of us who are here to get is that I don't have. I don't have. For me to get something, it must mean that it's out there. If I believe that I have to get peace, or I have to get love, or I have to get money, or I have to get help, or whatever the case may be, if I believe that I have to get it, that I need to get it, it means that it is somewhere out there. It is somewhere in the external world. That is my predominant vibration. That is the consciousness that I am operating from. Once again, consciousnness always precedes form. Whatever we are in vibrational alignment with always comes into manifestation. Or as I oftentimes lean into describing what this means. If I am standing in front of a mirror and I hold up a picture of me not having whatever it is that I want, the only thing I'll ever see in the mirror is that picture of me not having what I want, right? So that's how the sacred laws operate. That's how they work. So we want to, in order for us to live a life of peace, of freedom, of harmony, of wholeness, of abundance, of beauty, of love, of creativity, we need to find a way to move away from the sense, the notion, the perception, the story, the belief that I don't have, and begin to move into I do have. My goodness, I have more than enough. I not only have, but I have more than I need. So what am I going to do with all of these things that I have? What am I going to do with the abundance that is here? Well, obviously, I don't want to hoard it. I don't want to accumulate it. That too arises out of a vibration of lack. If I feel I need to hoard, if I feel I need to accumulate and to stockpile, it arises out of the fear of running out. So that too is a lack and scarcity paradigm. That too is a lack and scarcity consciousness. That too is a lack and scarcity vibration. But I want to begin to circulate. I want to begin to, and it doesn't matter if I don't, it doesn't matter. All right, so let me put it this way. As we are moving from the here to get consciousness to the here to give consciousness, in the beginning, it doesn't matter what it is that we give. The sacred laws do not care if we give money, if we give something else. Let's say that, and they particularly do not care in what amount we're giving. They care not about quantity, they only care about quality. So if I want to move from seeking to get to seeking to give, I need to start giving. Giving a smile, giving a blessing, wishing someone well, giving a lending hand or a helping hand. I might give just $1 or 50 cents. And getting into that mode of giving, circulating energy, we begin to set something in motion. We begin to change our habits. We begin to lift our vibration because it feels darn good to give. It feels pretty darn good to be of service, to be of assistance, to be in that state of circulating. Because even if let's say that I want to shift from financial stagnation and a perception of financial lack and scarcity into financial abundance flowing. Obviously, at some point, even though I don't have to begin by giving money, at some point I do need to get the juices of financial energy flowing, which means that there comes a point where I do need to begin to give. I need to begin to perhaps donate or tithe or whatever the case may be, right? Financially support. But it doesn't mean that I have to give all that I have. Just getting into giving something, $1, $2, 50 cents, whatever, getting into the giving mode gets us started. The thing is, oftentimes in the beginning to give, especially around money, is oftentimes accompanied by a sense of fear. What if I give this much money? I'm going to run out. I'm not going to be able to pay my bills, or I'm not going to be able to buy food, or whatever the case may be. So giving money oftentimes is accompanied by a sense of fear. But as we continue to give, what we're saying, even though we may be experiencing intense fear, what we're saying, the message that we're sending to the sacred laws is that I still have more than I need. I still have enough money to give. Yes, it's scary to give. I'm fearful. Every fiber in my body is reacting to me giving away money, when my perception may perhaps be that I don't even have enough money to pay the bills at the end of the month. But still I'm giving money away. So we keep on giving. And eventually the fear dissolves. And then we expand our giving. Then we move to the next level. But the point is, and this is not about money, this is about how we are showing up in the world. If we are here to seek to get more than we give, there's an imbalance in the scales, and the sacred laws pick up on that lack and scarcity. If we are more interested in getting than we are in giving, there's always going to be an experience of lack and scarcity in our lives. So we need to find a way to tip the scales over to the point where we are more interested in giving, in sharing, in being of service than of getting. And when the scales have tipped over, that has become our predominant vibration. That has been the consciousness that will precede form. And what form will it precede? The form of abundance, the form of opulence, the form of prosperity. So that's the invitation that we're all receiving here today, to take a good look at our lives and how we're moving through the world, how we're operating. Am I operating from a sense of lack and scarcity, giving rise to the need to get? Or am I operating from a sense of abundance and more than enoughness, more all needs met, which give rise to giving, a giving mode? So that's the invitation, and I thank you so much as always for listening, for participating, for tuning in. Until the next time, I absolutely bless all of our ways, and I bless all of our days. With much love, namaste.